Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Okay, our next prompt is a gingerbread house. So let's begin. Let's find ourselves a piece of paper, not paper, fabric that we can use as our background. Looks like my little gems have caught on something. Where are you? I know I've got some cut ready to go. Come on, let's have a little look. There we go. There we go. So we just need the one. So get this out of the way and we can begin. So I'm going to start with the red one first. I've got an idea in my head for a gingerbread man. I'm yet to work out if I'll fit the house on there, or I'll just focus on the gingerbread man. I think I need to get this gingerbread man out of my idea swamp, my brain, and then we'll go from there. So I want to lay down a background of lots of laces and things like that. So first of all, we need a little inspiration for the gingerbread man. So we've got an actual gingerbread man. So we're going to pop him there. He's joining the party. And we're going to have a look at what we can do for him. I also found this in my cupboard. Now, my theory is potentially using that as a template. And I'd love to get two on my page. And I couldn't decide if we were going to use the mustardy brown or the music. And I'm thinking I'm going to use the music just as a little bit different. Or do we do the brown guy? The brown guy's in the blue scene. I'm not sure. Do we? Can't decide. Can't decide. Let me have a look at the blue one just quickly. How much brown has appeared in this blue book? Because maybe we do a gingerbread man there. I just don't have a lot of room on the panels on the bunting version. So I've got to be a little bit mindful of space. So where's that cookie cutter? So my idea is to do a girl and a boy. So I'm wondering if it'll be easier to use them for that. Thinking. I wonder what I could do. I think I'm going to use the brown on the blue panel. So what I might do, I think, sorry guys, I'm just sort of getting my head around what I'm going to do here. Where's my blank pages? Something in there. Yeah. I was going to focus on one panel, but that didn't work, did it? And I've sort of got restrictions on size with the blue piece because it is horizontal. It's landscape. So I'm just going to write blue on there so I don't get myself confused. I like the idea of the music. I think that's a definite decision. See, there you go. I was heading down the track of the red piece and I would do the blue piece next week. But no, who knows where I head sometimes. So let's get our music up the right way. And I'm just going to use this cookie cutter. Let's make it easy on ourselves to trace out a snowman. There we go. Good. And I want to do two, so let's do a second one while we're at it. Just on a side note, if you want to make a reindeer cookie, you can use a gingerbread cookie cutter. And the reason I know this is a few years ago I was creating social media posts for my business, and I come across this recipe for gingerbread men. And then because I'd been searching that, Google sent me a second recipe, which was for the reindeers as a cookie. And I thought, well, how does that work when you've got to have a reindeer head to cut it out? And the recipe was talking about this gingerbread. So what it was is you cut out your cookie with your gingerbread cookie cutter. Then you turn your biscuit up the other way. And if this cookie cutter had more pointy little legs, more so like the arms, it would work really well, because what you get, now I'm really getting sidetracked. Where's a piece of paper? What you get, let's just draw this roughly on here. Let's say you've just cut out your cookie dough with your gingerbread cookie cutter. We'll make this real quick. I'm wasting time, for goodness sakes. All right, so that's your cookie. Now turn your cookie up this way, and what you've got is the ears of a reindeer. The eyes go in, some form of nostril, and then the legs, if that cookie cutter was a little bit more like that, mine's got a very square base. So if those legs on that cookie cutter are a little bit more rounded, that becomes the antlers to your reindeer. So with your icing, you've now got a reindeer biscuit. Does that make sense? So if you have a gingerbread cookie cutter, cut some of these out, then turn some of them upside down and use your cookie cutter to create reindeer heads. So there you go. Another little cooking lesson. I tell you, stay focused, Corinne. I'm doing something useful here with the piece that you've got. Goodness me. So let me just get rid of this out of here. So there's my little gingerbread man using my cookie cutter. Considering I bought the cookie cutter probably 10 years ago and I've used it once, let's say I'm pleased I've been able to use it again. It was worth the investment. So let's get that out of our way too, because we aren't using any more of those colours. Now the plan is to cut out, grab some bigger scissors, to cut out our little boy and our little girl. I hope this works with the music. I think it will. I just wanted to create something a little bit different in the texture, in the background of the biscuit. It has just started raining here. There's so much rain coming this week. I feel for anyone down in New South Wales. I thought Queensland was going to cop it, but it's looking like this rain system is heading in your direction more so than us. We're sort of on the top of it. So I hope you're all going to be safe. I'm seeing lots of pictures pop up on Facebook in slow stitch groups where people are starting to think they're not going anywhere for the next 2 or 3 days. So they're making camphor quilts and stitching fabrics together and settling in for a bit of a long, wet camphor quilt stitching weekend. The one lady was hoping that it wouldn't flood. She was really a bit concerned, and I just thought to myself, well, the main thing is to save that quilt. Don't let that quilt get lost in the ruckus that will ensue. So I hope everyone's going to be okay down there. Whether Queensland escapes or not, I just don't know. You just don't know with these weather systems. When they move in, they just can be brutal. So we've cut out these two. I'm trying to do something with massive scissors. Very dangerous. And I want to put a lot of lace in behind everything this week. I haven't done that for a little while. So I've picked up a lace that I haven't used for ages. It's just sitting out of shot there. And I just want to lay a little bit of that down just to create some layers and some interest. There we go. Some good little scrappy bits there that might reappear. Okay, so there's our pair. Aww. So let's just grab a little bit of lace just to start building up our layers. And this is the one I picked up. Let's get rid of those. Whoops, bumped the camera. I just want to lay that down first. How pretty is that? I saw it in the cupboard yesterday and I was like, oh, I haven't used you for a while. So I thought I'm going to put it out where I'm going to trip over it and find a project that I can use it on. And then when this come up, I thought, oh, there we go. There's the start of a background. Okay. So we've fulfilled the first mission. And we've got a nice layer of lace there. And these pair are going to sit Is he upside down? That writing's upside down. How did that happen? Is that fabric? Does it spin the text around? Yeah, it does. Look, that's it right way and that's it wrong way. Oh, well, all right. Doesn't matter. So let's pin them into position. Now I'm going to use a little bit of art glitter glue on the back of these little guys just to stop them fraying. I will stitch them down, but I just want to ensure they don't get too frayed. You never know, because this piece I'm doing gluing on my mat. Naughty, naughty. There's a piece of paper. Just because this is going to be a Christmas decoration, it might have little fingers touch it and rub over it and feel it, and so I just want to make sure that they don't disintegrate over time. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue just around that edge just to stabilize it. You can use, you know, iron-on fixative products, but I find they make everything so stiff And my fingers and knuckles and hands are just starting to feel a bit aware from all the needlework. So the last thing I need is to hit that resistance, trying to push a needle through. So I've sort of moved away from that. So the blessing of slow stitch coming along is we don't really need it anymore because everything's a lot more free form. So there's our little man. So it looks like the gingerbread house is going on the red book and the gingerbread men are going on this. Okay. Let's do this little guy next. So when we've finished this, I will probably just get them stitched down, and then when I embellish them, not sure what I'll use yet, but I know I want one to be a boy and one to be a girl. So I'm guessing a bow on a little girl, a bow tie on a little boy. I might have a go at making a little skirt for her, or maybe a little pinafore, just by placing some additional fabrics onto her, sort of to dress her a little bit. Don't know. I'll get the backgrounds done anyway, and then I'll have a think about. I do need to go away for a few days up to my parents' farm, so I probably won't get to that detail at this stage, but at least I can throw this in the car. I'm filming this Thursday and I head off tomorrow, Friday morning. So I can throw this in a little bag and stitch it over the weekend. I'll be back Monday or Tuesday, depending on how much I achieve in those few days I'm up at the farm. I'm madly cooking meals for Dad, so I want to go up and restock his freezer. Say g'day. So I can take this with and get this all stitched down. So that'll be really good. I did go through my trims, and I pulled out this. This is baker's twine. I had some of the red. I found some zigzag, rickrack zigzag, so I've got that. I grabbed a little bit of ribbon scraps. I thought that might be handy, and then I've got this red zigzag I picked up at an op shop, so there's a chance of using all of those little elements. I'll take a little bit of that with me for embellishing, and then I've still got my container of beads and, you know, bits and pieces. So that one is pretty much ready to go for my blue. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside. That will be good. And let's have a look at this guy for our little house. So once again, I want to get some lace down. And I've got so much on my desk at the moment. I just want to, isn't that pretty? I just want to get it used, and maybe I lay, I've got another lace sitting here. Hang on, guys. Got a couple more that I pulled out. Maybe this one I picked up at an op shop, and there's this dirty mark there, so I might just cut that there. I think this is lingerie lace. It's got a lot of elasticity in it, but if you take your time and get it stitched down, it is good. So I might use that, and I'll hide that little dirty mark behind the house. So let's just start patchworking down some pieces. I think I've got this lace as well. So pretty. See, it's got a mark on it as well. There. Oh, looks like it's fluff that's been caught in the making of it, so that's not too bad. Let's put that piece there. Just want lots and lots of lace this week. Layers and layers of it. And then the little house can sit on top of it. Because I want to make my house red, I think. As my inspiration is disappearing fast. As soon as I saw that prompt, I thought, I'm going to have a gingerbread biscuit now. And I had to go down to the local shops to pick up a parcel, and I thought, I'll just whip around and see who's selling gingerbread houses. And I walked for miles, but I found some. Don't ask me how much I paid for it because it was ridiculous. But I did it because I thought, what better time and what better excuse to have a biscuit is now. Yeah, I like that. What else have we got here that's yummy that could be used? They'd be good to decorate the little house, I think. So that's a good start. So let's get that pinned. And then we've got to decide whether we're going to do it landscape or portrait. I guess it's going to come down to my little house, isn't it? So one background, nice and lacy. I'm glad I found a home for that doily. It's been given to me by someone who was at an op shop, and oh no, they were at a garage sale, and there was a heap of doilies for sale, and they thought of me and grabbed the pile. They wouldn't tell me how much they paid, the cheeky buggers. They gifted them to me. So I'm not sure, and I know she loves orchids, so the plan is next time I see her, I feel like I want to go this way. Just don't know. Let's cut out the house and just sort of see where we go. What are we going to use? We need some, I've got a little mix of fabrics here, nice and red. Do we do a little, I love this dark raspberry red. I'm thinking along the lines of that. Actually, I might move that out of the way. And I want to make it, how am I going to do this? I need a roof. I might just cut this off of the piece. And we'll start with just a rectangle, like, sounds pretty logical. Then I want to give my little house a bit of a kooky shape, like so. Where's a ruler? And if that went through there, and I can fold it and cut that out, so that will give me that's not bad. Then we have potentially a roof which will fit, I'm thinking, up in there easily. So yeah, I think that's not a bad shape. So I'm just going to fold that in half. And I'm just going to now cut the side of the little house. Might make it a fraction bigger than what I drew, because you can always trim it down. Or if I decide to needle turn applique, I doubt it because I struggle to see the little stitches. Okay, so that went wonky. How did that happen? What happened there? Goodness me, what did I do? I got that very wrong. Must have wriggled in my hand. Let's try that again. It doesn't look too bad now. Now the roof. There's our wonky little house. I've chosen the red as my base because I think it'll make everything pop. Brown is really good too because everything pops on it as well. So when you put your frosting on it, everything looks, you know, just gorgeous. I wonder if this would make a good little house roof. Have I got any? I wonder if I can use some lace. So what I'd need, I've got this collar. Is that anything? This was also in that bag from the lady's house that my friend purchased from. So someone's attempted to make or thought about making a collar. I think. I don't know what that's about. I'm wondering if, see, there's another one. Is there a shape there I could use to create my gingerbread roof? No. What else have I got? Nothing really. I might just, before I cut any more fabric, I'm going to grab some calico and I'm going to make a template because I sort of feel like this is not quite right. Let's try and get a triangle. I'd rather do a template than cut some fabric and not sort of get it right. So I got it wide enough to get across. I don't think I want to be any taller than that. So we've got our width. Let's get our peak right. This is uncharted territory, guys. And let's just go for it. Let's see what comes of this little roof. I don't know if that's the right shape. Oh, that looks terrible. Needs to be more of an angle, doesn't it? I think my house base is not quite right. We'll get there. I'll leave the fringing on that because I like. So I want to have room for windows and I want to make it very whimsical. Whether this will work is another question. Sort of feel like I need more of a slope. It's fun, isn't it? Just experimenting. There we go. I wonder if I bring the little house in a little bit, or do I just nip off those corners? Yeah, I think I'm going to just nip off those sides. I remember doing the house in the first prompt earlier in the year, and it was really good because it was, you know, just a generic little house. So it happened very easily because it's just, you know, a little house. But this one I want to make it a little bit more whimsical. So let's just start having a play with some of the lace I could use for guttering. Just looking across my table what there is. So if I cut it out of that, I think that'll work. I'm going to use that as my template, pin it on there for now. I can always reshape if I don't find that it fits. The other thing I have to have a little think about too is if I'm going to have a gingerbread man. I just don't know. Let's get the roof. It's an icing frosted little roof. The little scallops at the bottom of this lace will be great to give it the there we go. So we got our little roof. Do I pinch it in a little more? Don't know. Let's assume that that goes up a little bit and that comes down a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I want to really lace it up. Love to use, that's been kicking around my desk too, this little lace motif. And I might add that to the top and just stitch that down, and that'll give another little frilly top on it. So let's just pin that. It's just getting some ideas at the moment, and if I see it coming together, great. If I don't, we just adjust. That can be all gathered down and stitched and ruched and yummy. That'll feel good under the touch because it'll be all okay. I might end up taking that little leaf, if you can see that. There's a little leaf sticking up there in the air. I might end up taking them off and using them elsewhere on the piece. It'd be a shame just to tuck them under and, you know, finish that off with a bit of a rounded roof line, which will help give the roof that dimensional feel. I just can't decide on my shape of my house whether I need to make it more narrow, but we're not committed yet to it because I want to cut, say, a doorway in. Where's that music scrap? Maybe we can do a little music door. Little piece of gingerbread on the front to make the door. I'm not going to have room for windows the way I'm going. What's silly fun? I just bring the door down a little bit past the bottom. See, that can also be reduced in size. I think I need to make it a little more narrow. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. And then what I'll go hunting for in all the laces, which I sort of can't see anything offhand at the moment, I'll go hunting for little edges. See these little edges? Like, I might just cut that across there. And these can help build. I might just bring this arch out. So above the house is, you know, when you pipe the icing onto your gingerbread house, this could be that. Yeah, I like that. And then I'll go looking for something that potentially can come down the side of the house. Actually, don't mind that. If that was to come in, it would look like it's frosting. So let's do that. I like that. The good thing about this prompt is white doilies, white lace will be your best friend. So I'm going to aim to get that just on the edge of the door. I'll put a pin there for now. Just stab it in. And that'll look like something yummy has been squeezed down there, like icing. Looks like I'm not going to have room for windows, but that's okay. We don't have to have a window. It's all about the lace at the end of the day. There we go. Now, do I want to bring in some, peppermint? Got to have some peppermint. So let's just put a line of peppermint at the moment there. I'll just use my pins to stab it, give it a little trim. Another bit of peppermint down here. The company we buy our candy from for the shops. Like I don't buy a lot of candy to sell in our shops because it is available pretty much everywhere, but it's good for that person who just wants everything in one location. So I have candy canes, and it's probably more office staff that will buy them because I'll be getting some decorations for the office, and then they'll grab a pack of candy canes, so they might be doing up staff gifts. So that stock arrived. I won't use white. That stock arrived this week. That's always nice. You open the boxes and it just smells like peppermint. Oh, it's so nice. I might just put this zigzag here and see what that, oh yeah, I like that. Gosh, a whole roll of that stuff. And I'm going to use, what, 10 centimetres? It's crazy, isn't it? So there's a little bit of zigzag going across there. All right. Now, what else can we do? We need some red up here. Do I have red lace? No, I don't. I have red beads. I have red charms left over from the Christmas tree. Is there any inspiration in this? These little peaks could have something on them. Not that anything's jumping out at me. You know, we could really bling it up. Oh, I like that. It's a bit big, but do we add some rhinestones? Do we add some sparkles to our little house? Could add buttons, but that's a bit boring. I don't know. It's given me an idea, but I still think I need something up the top there. What's else is in my bucket of tricks? There's a little red bow with a rosette. Well, it's very cute, but not that inspiring. There's nothing else in there. I've got lots of beads, but we can always go and trim things with beads at the end. What are they? Some little sequins? No. What I need is something red at the top, I think. I like the idea of hanging some gems. It certainly would match the Christmas tree. So there are a pair of earrings. I wonder if there's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peaks. 1, 2, 3. So I would, if I pulled those earrings apart, they sort of look like holly, don't they? I wonder if I do that. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have a think about that for the next week. I've got at least the little guy started. Let me pop that in there before I knock it flying. I might have to go further afoot in my stash and see if I can find something red to go up there. I could couch even a little bit more. Yeah, I might do that too. I need a little guttering, not guttering, a little bit of red up there just to break up the eye from the background. So I'm going to couch a little bit more peppermint onto our little house. Okay, so I can cut that. Can I be cheeky and couch that all the way along? What skill is that going to take? I wonder. Might be batting above my pay grade. Maybe that's... Well, I don't mind that. Oh, yeah, I like that. Gee, that's not going to be easy, but if I could couch the peppermint around the scallop, I'll just pull that pin out and hold it. Let's just pin it and see what it looks like. I do like it because it has really defined the edge of our roof. It's going very pepperminty. Concentration here, just trying to get these pins in position, and if it turns out that this looks really good and I'm happy, I'll take a photo on my phone and then I can pull it all apart and start with the background, stitching that all down and securing it, and then I can start bringing the pieces back into play and work out what I would stitch first and slowly piece the little house together. There we go. One little peppermint coated or peppermint trimmed little house. I'll just snip that off. There should be plenty there in excess. I sort of like that. I feel like I need a line going through there too, just to define that lace a little bit. Maybe I do a little line of peppermint through there. Yeah, that's it. Oh gosh, there's going to be some couching. So I'll just pin that, and what I'll do is couch around the door frame. Oops. The peppermint as well. So if I can just line that up through there, bring it down. Yeah, it's all about layers, isn't it? The more layers you add to your piece, the more detail comes out of it. Yeah, that's really good. I'll just remove those pins because I actually will start it down on the bottom corner. It can tuck in under that zigzag. And then go up. And we'll catch it there. And then that there can come down, and I can then snip that with a little excess. That can come down and just tuck in under there. How are we going? That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we might stitch a bead in there for the doorknob, something along those lines. All of that can be couched down and that'll look really pretty. I'll just get that arch done. Okay, I'm happy with that. There's my little peppermint gingerbread house so far. I think once I work out, maybe I still need something red for the top, I think. What have we got here? Maybe it just needs a bigger bow. There's a bit. Maybe I just have a go at making a bigger bow. Make it a little bit more lush. And then that can be stitched. Yeah, I don't mind that. So it just breaks it up and adds another layer. Still think there could be something in the center of that bow. Let's just pin it for now. It's a little bow on top of our little peppermint house. Now, the question is, what do we do over here? Do we do anything? Do we add a gingerbread man? It'd have to be a little guy. We probably could. Maybe that's something we can think about. How's my gingerbread man going? He needs to lose another arm. I don't know. Is it inhumane? Should I have eaten his head first? What's the rule? What's the rules? Did I break a cardinal rule there? And I should have eaten his head first to put him out of his misery? Or do you do his feet and his legs like I have? How do you eat your gingerbread man? That size, you could just about put him all in. But we are not going to be little piggies. We're going to be ladies and nibble at the gingerbread man. Okay, I think that's it. Let's, I'm going to eat his head next. We might as well have a gingerbread man while we do this project. Do we need any zigzags? No. I think I can put all that away. That can go away. I'll keep the twine out for now. And I have to have a think about this spot and what I do. I don't really want to centre him because I really want to see this doily. What if, you know, when you put a gingerbread house on a board that you've decorated, they often create a garden scene. I wonder if I could create a fence leading up to it. I don't know. I'll think about that. I've got a lot to stitch down in the meantime. That's a very good start. And I've also got my little blue guy where I can start thinking about how we make a little boy and girl. And my plan is, which will probably be in the next video anyway, is make some clothes for them. sort of bring the blue in that way, because all of my snippets in the blue are jelly rolls. So my fabric's only about 2 inches, 2.5 inches wide and very long. So I've sort of got to come up with designs that allow me to piece small elements together. So I was pretty confident I wouldn't be able to do the gingerbread house in the blue, but this one I had a little bit more scope. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye. Have a great week. This video will air on Saturday. There definitely won't be a Sunday video, but my series on a journal for Edie, the 10-year-old little girl that's getting a journal made from different signatures, slow stitching through to watercolor painting and all sorts of activities in there for a young lady. That has aired officially today. So you'll see that next week, and I'm still working on my William Morris slow stitch project, which is every Friday. And on the weekends is where the Roxy Journal of Stitchery drops in. So you'll be watching this and it will be Saturday. So have a great weekend, and I will see you all next weekend when we continue working on our Roxy Journal of Stitchery. Have a great week, guys. Bye.